So the Indiana Fever have got their enforcer. They have got their enforcer for Caitlin Clark. And I'm not gonna lie, like, when it comes to Caitlin Clark and their enforcer, last year everyone was talking about them needing an enforcer.
Well, looks like the WNBA bullies finally met their match. And oh boy, they're not ready for what's coming. You remember last season, right? Caitlin Clark couldn't even breathe without getting hacked, shoved, elbowed, or body checked, like she signed up for WrestleMania instead of a basketball league. Every time she touched the ball, someone was trying to send a message. Yeah, we got the message loud and clear. You were scared. Scared of the spotlight not being on you. Scared of a rookie stealing your shine. Scared that no matter how hard you fouled her, she just kept getting up, draining threes, and embarrassing your defense. Guess what? Message received. And now, the Indiana Fever just sent one back, and theirs is even louder. To all the haters who thought being extra physical would break her, to the players who thought throwing cheap shots made them look tough. Newsflash, it made you look salty, not strong. So tell us, how's that working out for you now? Because Caitlin Clark isn't rolling solo anymore. She's got backup, big, mean, veteran backup. And these new Fever teammates? Oh, they didn't come to smile and wave. They came to protect the queen and shut all that tough girl act down. So if you were one of those players thinking this season would be the same as last, thinking Clark would just keep getting beat up with no consequences, think again. The Indiana Fever just got nasty. They're bigger, stronger, and done playing nice. And the WNBA drama? Oh yeah, it's about to get spicy. Let's break it all down because what you're about to see will shake the WNBA. Grab your popcorn, don't blink, and stay locked in. We're revealing the fierce, no-nonsense players who are stepping in to protect Caitlin Clark, and trust me, you're gonna love every second of it. Before we get into all the action, take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll always stay updated on the latest WNBA news, big moves, and game breakdowns just like this. Don't miss out, we've got you covered. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's jump right in. You remember last season, right? Caitlin Clark came into the league with all eyes on her. College basketball phenom, NCAA record breaker. The kind of range that makes defenders reconsider their career choices. She was dropping dimes, draining logo threes, and doing it with swagger. What did she get in return? Welcome to the league. Now hold this elbow. Seriously, she couldn't take a single dribble without someone accidentally hip-checking her into the second row. It felt less like basketball and more like she joined the WNBA's version of the Royal Rumble. It was like she signed up for a skills competition and ended up in a steel cage match. They said it was just rookie hazing. They called it physical defense. Let's be real, these weren't basketball plays. These were ego bruises dressed up as defense. It was more like a bunch of salty veterans trying to teach the new kid a lesson. But guess what? Clark passed that class with flying colors while they were busy fouling out. And while some folks on social media were cheering on the cheap shots like it was some kind of WWE crossover episode, Clark stayed locked in, ice in her veins, fire in her game. Meanwhile, the haters, y'all looked shook, out here trying to guard her with fouls because guarding her with skill wasn't working. And the worst part, nobody had her back. Indiana's roster was young, still developing, and nobody was stepping in to say, hey, keep your hands off our star. It was like throwing your best soldier into battle with no armor, just hoping she'd make it through the war. And somehow she did, but it shouldn't have been that way. To the players who thought a hard foul would shut her down, how's that working out for you? You tried to punk her, and she made you look like background extras on her highlight reel. But guess what? That script just got a rewrite. And this time, it's written in all caps in bold letters, with a Sharpie, and maybe a few exclamation points. This ain't the same Caitlin, and this definitely ain't the same Fever. The bullies had their fun, but recess is over. Indiana Fever just got scary. Here's why the Fever didn't just upgrade, they went full Avengers Assemble. They added players who aren't just talented, they're tough, physical, unapologetic, not afraid to mix it up. And they're coming to defend the crown jewel of Indiana, Caitlin Clark. If last season was Clark versus the world, This season is Clark and company versus anyone who even thinks about stepping wrong. So who are these reinforcements? Let's break it all down, one superstar at a time. Let's start with the beast in the paint. Natasha Howard, aka the WNBA's version of a security system with built-in offense. If you don't know her name yet, that's your first mistake because she's about to become a recurring nightmare for every player thinking about attacking the rim. Think of her as the bouncer at Club Indiana. No nonsense. No excuses, just pure dominance. She's the reason you better think twice before driving to the basket. Three-time WNBA champion, former Defensive Player of the Year, built like a tank, moves like a jaguar. Oh, and she's got a jumper too. This woman is a walking don't try it sign. She's seen it all, won it all, and she's not here for hugs, she's here for hard stops. She's making sure Caitlin Clark doesn't take another elbow without someone answering for it. Last year, Clark was out there catching cheap shots like they were on sale. But this year, try that same nonsense. And Howard will be right there, arms crossed, eyebrows raised, silently saying, "You got about 5 seconds to fix that mistake." She brings the kind of playoff grit and intimidation you can't fake. She's not just defending the rim, she's defending the entire franchise, the culture, and the future. And speaking of fearless, feisty, and a little bit feral, let's talk about Sophie Cunningham, the chaos agent who turned trash talk into an art form, the gritty enforcer who does not care. You want chaos, you got it. Let me introduce you to Sophie, don't mess with me, Cunningham. This woman is the definition of built different. She's fearless, she's fiery, she's got a Taekwondo black belt and the confidence of someone who knows she's the scariest person on the floor and maybe in the parking lot too. And when it comes to attitude, Sophie's got enough to pass around the entire league. She's the kind of player who can hit a 3 in your face, bark at your bench, and then defend the heck out of your best scorer. Oh, and did I mention the fights? Yeah, she's got more in-game squabbles on her resume than some UFC veterans. The girl's got receipts. But here's the twist, she's not all bark. Sophie is a certified bucket. She shot nearly 38% from deep last season, and she doesn't hesitate. Give her space and it's lights out. Guard her tight and she'll muscle you into the paint like it's personal. What makes her extra dangerous? That edge, that fire, that zero tolerance policy for anyone messing with her squad. You foul Caitlin Clark? Don't even blink. Sophie's already checking in, cracking her knuckles and making sure the next play doesn't go unnoticed. She's not just a shooter, she's a statement. She's the walking, talking reminder that Indiana isn't playing nice this season. The Fever didn't just add another body, they added a spark plug, a tone setter, a fearless vet with a wild streak and a wicked shot. And just when you think Indiana's already too stacked, here comes the final piece of the puzzle. The cool-headed killer, the veteran sniper, the one who's seen it all and still plays like she's got something to prove. Let's talk about DeWanna Bonner. She's got rings, she's got records, she's got playoff scars, and she wears them proudly like battle medals. She doesn't flinch, she doesn't fold, she doesn't just show up, she shows out when it matters most. Bonner isn't here for Instagram likes, she's here for W's. She's not the loudest voice in the huddle, but when she speaks, everyone listens. Her leadership is quiet but powerful, like thunder rolling in before the storm. She's been in more playoff wars than most of the league combined. When the pressure rises, Bonner doesn't break, she becomes the calm in the chaos, the assassin in the clutch. She doesn't need to drop 30 to dominate. She plays chess while others play checkers. Her job? Keep Caitlin Clark fresh, guide the young stars, and show the rest of the league what championship DNA looks like up close. And when it's go time, when the playoffs hit and every possession matters, Bonner doesn't just participate, she takes over. While the haters are tweeting and the bullies are throwing elbows, Bonner is stacking wins, dropping daggers, and teaching a masterclass in staying composed and lethal. She's the finisher, the closer, the legend on the court with a chip on her shoulder and a mission in her heart. And now, she's doing it in Indiana. Whoa, you've made it this far. That must mean you're really enjoying the video, right? So why not take a quick second to hit that follow button? It's totally free, super simple, and helps us keep bringing you more awesome content, especially if you love the WNBA. Whether it's game highlights, player spotlights, or behind-the-scenes moments, we've got you covered. Plus, by following, you'll never miss a beat when it comes to your favorite teams and players. Go on, tap that follow now. All right, let's jump back in. Let's talk about the WNBA bullies. Let's just say what we're all thinking. Some players took last year a little too personally. Angel Reese, Kennedy Carter, a couple folks on the Sky. The energy was less welcome to the league and more stay in your lane, rookie. But Clark didn't back down, not once. She ate the hits. She dropped buckets. She kept her head down and her game up. And you know what? That's what rattled them. Not the hype, not the cameras, not the fans. The fact that nothing they did could break her. They hit her. She got up. They fouled her. She drained threes. They talked. She torched them in silence. So now the league has a new problem. Clark isn't alone anymore. And Indiana? They just went from underdogs to apex predators. The Fever weren't just looking for talent. They were looking for balance. A chessboard with queens, rooks, knights, and pawns all in the right spots. A roster with biting brains. Now, you've got Clark running the offense like a young Steve Nash with Steph Curry's range. Creating chaos, pulling defenders, making highlight plays nightly. You've got Kelsey Mitchell, a walking bucket who can drop 25 on any given night. Quick, confident, and cold-blooded. You've got Aaliyah Boston, young, strong, hungry, and ready to dominate the paint. She's already proven she's a future MVP. You've got 3 veteran bodyguards who came to throw elbows and win games. This team is ready to punch back and then some. The kind of team you circle on the schedule and start preparing for weeks in advance. You think this was just about protecting Clark? No, no, no. This is way bigger than that. This is about flipping the entire script. This is about telling the league on national TV, in bold capital letters with exclamation points, you can't bully your way to a win anymore. You can't treat the face of the league like a punching bag and expect no one to clap back. The Indiana Fever are done being nice. Done being that cute little rebuilding team everyone circles as an easy W. The days of getting away with cheap shots, elbows, and passive-aggressive post-game quotes? Over. They're not the victims anymore. They're the storm. The Fever are tired of being pushed around. They're tired of being overlooked. Tired of being the team with potential. That label's gone. It's outdated, like fax machines and flip phones. This is a new chapter. New roster. New energy. And if you still think Caitlin Clark is out here alone, you clearly haven't been watching. They're not waiting around for next year anymore. They're not waiting for your approval. They're not trying to fit in. They're kicking the door down and taking the respect they've earned. They want teams to fear playing them. They want the message to be crystal clear. You don't mess with Indiana. Not this year, not ever again. And if you try, be ready to meet the squad that's more than happy to return the favor louder, faster, and with a scoreboard to back it up. Caitlin Clark isn't the type to start drama. She's not clapping back on Twitter or subtweeting players. She's not showing up in press conferences with long rants. She lets her game speak, and that game, it's not whispering, it's yelling in surround sound. But when she was asked about the hard fouls, her answer was calm, composed, and absolutely savage. That's not basketball, but you play through it. Translation. Nice try. You didn't break me. You just gave me more film for my highlight reel. See, while the haters were busy throwing shade and hard fouls, Clark was busy dropping dimes and deep threes. She didn't need to fight back with fists, she fought back with buckets. You push her, she pushes the pace. You foul her, she fuels her fire. You talk trash, she talks with the scoreboard. And let's be honest, some of those players who went at her last season, they were more pressed than a jersey on media day. It wasn't about defense, it was about ego. They couldn't handle the spotlight shifting, and instead of leveling up, they lashed out. But Clark? She stayed locked in. Now that she's got a squad around her, a wall of warriors who are just as hungry and 10 times more fearless, she knows one thing. You want smoke this season? Don't bother knocking, Indiana's already at the door. Clark is cooking, the haters are sizzling. And this season, the W is about to get roasted. Are the WNBA bullies shook? Yes, they are. They tried to scare her. They tried to rough her up. They tried to make her quit. They thought a few elbows, a couple sneaky shoves, getting started. It's no longer just about who scores the most. It's about who wants it the most, who plays with purpose, who's built for the chaos, who's ready to throw down, then throw up a three. This ain't just basketball anymore. This is entertainment, and we're here for every second of it. Popcorn in hand, volume turned up, and there you have it, folks. The WNBA just got a whole lot more exciting, and if you weren't paying attention before, now's the time to lock in. Caitlin Clark isn't just surviving this league, she's flipping the script, turning up the pressure, and coming back with an army behind her. The Indiana Fever didn't just level up, they powered up. And the Bullies? Yeah, they're looking real quiet these days. So if you're loving this kind of breakdown, the drama, the clapbacks, the straight-up fire coming out of the W, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a moment. We've got more stories, more highlights, and more behind-the-scenes heat coming your way. Drop a comment down below. Do you think the WNBA Bullies are shook? Who's your favorite new Fever player? And how far do you think Indiana can go this season? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for rocking with us. And remember, this ain't the same WNBA you knew last year. This is new energy, new attitude, and we're here for all of it. Catch you in the next one.